Good afternoon, everyone. This is Woody Collins, and I want to thank you for joining me today for another episode of Talking About the Congo. Thank you for stopping by, whether you're catching us on the live broadcast or whether you're looking at a replay. Please leave your comments and questions in your comment section below on whatever you're watching, and we will answer those, get you some answers. And I just appreciate your comments. So please do that. And also go ahead and subscribe to whatever channel you're watching. Today's topic is be confident. Be confident. Be confident. Okay. And also, I'm going to give you a short update on the new Ebola outbreak that's going on in the Congo. So let's go ahead and get started. How do you create self-confidence? Because you want the people who are going to be implementing this project to be confident about what they're doing and how to proceed. So the question is, how do you create confidence among the people who are going to be implementing this project? And we're talking about the farming project that we're going to implement over in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. So the first thing you want to do is do a step-by-step hands-on training. Step-by-step hands-on training. We in the profession used to call it just-in-time training. So you would do, if you're getting ready to clear a field, you will go over how they should clear the field. Don't give them a whole lesson on clearing the field, planning, and doing all those type things. Just do it step by step and do it the training as you go along, and not trying to give them the whole big picture at one time. So just in time training. The second way you want to do is show and tell. I found out doing water testing with the Congolese and health officials, we had to allow sufficient time for show and tell. And we all remember show and tell from our days in kindergarten and first and second grade in elementary, that we had show and tell day where you would get up and describe what you're doing or what happened. But that was a learning experience for both the, especially for you as the student. It gives you time to uh, show what you know, and also give time for your teacher to correct you if you had some concept wrong. So show and tell is really good. And in another case, in the formal world, we call that on-the-job training, where we train people on the job, showing them what they need to do, and they complete the task, and then we evaluate, correct, and go on. And finally, you want to do some A/B testing. That's the official name of it, but that is comparative testing. Uh, what has been very effective, especially in farming, because a lot of people around the world, they have grown up farming in one way, and they have not moved off the way uh, that they have been doing all their life, their parents did, and everybody else. And there's new ways to increase your crop yield just by doing things in a different way. One of the things that I saw, I went out to visit a farm, is that they were not planting the crops in a row, where we have an automatic spreader that plants the crops at seeds at a certain depth and a certain distance apart, so that that is they get the ultra the best nutrition if you're going to be fertilizing, and then they won't hinder one another, and you produce great crops. So we're not saying that you want to fertilize or anything, you can, but you want to definitely, whether, and some of the people in Congo have started doing it, that you have to properly space uh, a crop so that number one, you can go in and weed it. In the Congo, a lot of rain, a lot of weeds. You got to go in and weed it. So you got to have those crops in a way that you can go in and weed the crops because the weeds will choke out a plant, and it also will get the nutrition from that plant. So also by properly spacing it, you can also, improve the look and also the variability of what your crops are. And then you can see where certain crops are not growing. When I first saw Congolese women planting seeds, they just was bending over and they would hike this place, they would hike this place, hike it, and they were just throwing in a couple seeds. Where we want to tell them not only if you properly space it, you only have to plant one seed, and then if you notice that it doesn't come up, then you can go back and plant another seed, and that uh, won't be that far. Maybe it won't be that far behind, but you have a method of knowing where it should be plants should be coming up and where they're not coming up, so that you can make adjustments if necessary, if not that current crop, but in future crops, you can do that. So those are the three things that you want to do is create confidence in them in the farming methods by doing some step-by-step on the on hands-on training, doing some show and tell when you're showing them how to do things and giving them an opportunity to do it under your watchful eye, and finally doing some comparative where you're actually planting the way that they think they should plant, and then you showing your improved way to do it, and then at the end of the season you will go back and compare. Say this field got uh, X number of bushels, and this other one did not get that amount, and then you can show them, hey, you can see the difference. You got a 30% more, or 50% more, or whatever yield you got. You can see, and that's based on the way the crops were planted and not, just willy-nilly doing anything. So let's go ahead and finish up with the Ebola. Yes, there's a new Ebola outbreak in Eastern Congo. It just the last Ebola was officially over in the late June, early July time period when they went through their 42 days of uh, of no cases, and so therefore it was declared over with. However, they have just reported that the first woman who died was the wife of a Ebola survivor. So the man had Ebola, but he survived, and therefore there's some question about whether his semen was still positive, and therefore she came down with Ebola because of sexual contact with them. That's one of the ways they have found Ebola uh, in the semen years after. And the second woman that died, they don't know whether she contracted it from the lady or from some other kind of way, because they realized that there is Ebola in the animals, the bush animals that they eat. So that's a possibility also. So finally, they got vaccines, the new Ebola vaccines, and the medications to help with the treatment is on the way up there. And so hopefully they can get this under control shortly. That concludes my episode for today. Thank you all for coming on, and thank you all for listening. We ask you to let's get this pandemic under control by taking care of yourself, taking care of your families, washing your hands, socially distancing yourself and wearing your mask. So we will talk with you later. Take care now.